Hey, what's up guys? Tobin here, 5M Family Homestead channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. We are a homesteading YouTube channel. We document what we do on our homestead, and we also document what we do with our skull mount business. If that's something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button and stick around. So today, I was going to talk about 5 things you should consider if you are wanting to start a skull mount business. This is going to be some basic stuff. I'm going to do another video after this video sometime on some more advanced things. These are very basic things, but they may help somebody who, you may have been doing skull mounts as a business for several years. There might be something here that might still help you. So what makes me qualified to give somebody advice on a skull mount business? I've been doing skull mounts for 10 years. I don't know everything. I learn something new almost every day, every season for sure, and I'm always wanting to hear other people's tips and tricks, things like that. But that being said, I've grown my business. This past year we did almost 400 skulls. I have had for the last 2 years, I've had an employee that's worked part-time for me, and this past year as well, my wife quit her part-time job and worked full-time for our skull mount business from November till February. I do have a full-time job, so I do this part-time, but during the busy time of year, I'm doing this 40 hours a week and working 40 hours a week. So that's a little bit about me and why I feel like I have some something I can some advice I can share. Doing 400 a year is about where I want to be right now. A few years back, I turned down a wholesale customer, a wild game processing potential customer that would have probably tripled my business. I would be well over 1,000 heads a year if I had to take that work on. But I really don't want to get that big, and I don't know that I'd be able to maintain my day job. I want to just grow a little slower, and that customer did not want to pay a fair price in my opinion. So, and I don't want to do the work for free. That's kind of where we're at now. About a third of my customers are in-house customers off the street, and then the other customer is one wholesale customer that we work for that is a wild game processing facility that is open seasonally in our county, and we do all of their heads for them as well. So we go pick them up once a week and drop them off once a week, and they mark those heads up and give them back to their customers. Let's get into 5 things you should consider if you're starting a skull mount business, or some of these may even apply if you already have an existing business and you could apply them to it. Number 1, competition and pricing. So in your area, it would be very beneficial for you to do research and see, are there companies that are just doing skull mounts? Are there companies that, like a true taxidermist, that are doing shoulder mounts, life-size mounts, things like that, and find out what they're charging. In the beginning, there is nothing wrong with doing work cheap or even doing it for free for your friends, so that you can get your name out there and get business going. But you just need to consider your competition and kind of, there's certain areas of the country I've heard from people that are crazy low on what people are charging to do a skull mount. I would never do them for even anywhere near what some people are charging. And there's other parts of the country, fortunately where I'm at in Texas, the pay is pretty well for them. So just do your research, get your pricing right in the beginning, and don't be afraid. You know, if you're just trying to start this out as a side gig, there's nothing wrong in the beginning for doing work cheaper, for free even, just to get some work under your belt, and then as you grow and become more known, then you can adjust your prices accordingly. Number 2, laws. This is a big one. A lot of people don't, when they first get into this, don't understand the laws involved in their state, in their county, whatever, and you can get in a lot of trouble. So here in Texas, and I'm sure everywhere else, a lot of the game laws that are written are not easy for just an everyday person to understand. So what I recommend doing is contacting your local game warden, DNR agent, whatever you call it in your area, and talking to them directly and building a relationship with them. I have a couple game wardens in our county that I wouldn't say I'm friends with them, but they know me, I know them, and I could call them right now and ask them a question and they would not be bothered by it at all. And in fact, one of them would probably talk to me on the phone for 30 minutes. He's just a great guy and likes to talk, and that's good. So read over those laws, make you some notes, and then call your game warden and make sure you're following the laws correctly and doing what you're supposed to be doing. And just the fact that you reach out to them and ask that question shows them that you're honest and you don't want to break the laws. And if you've got a situation down the road where you might be in a bind, that would go a long way with them, I would assume. That they know that you're wanting to do the right thing and that you reached out to them beforehand. Number 3, social media. This is a big one. It can be the death of you, or it can help you significantly depending on how you use it. So when I say social media, I want to be very clear. Instagram, Facebook, Google, that's more of a search engine, but I'm going to throw that in the category of social media. YouTube. I get the majority of my business from the internet through Google and Facebook. I get zero business through Instagram. I've tried with Instagram, I've had no luck. And YouTube, I don't get any business. I get a lot of people that watch my videos and ask for help, and I help them. So what you need to do you can create a free Google page and a free Facebook page. We'll go over the Google page first. So if you don't know what that is, when you go on your phone and you go to Google and you type in pizza restaurant near me, and it pops up and it shows you the pizza restaurants that are near you. You can do the same thing, create a page like that for your small part-time business, any kind of business. I have one for my skull mount business. Once you do that, you need to take good pictures and put them on there and get as many people as you can to go on there and leave you good reviews. I don't know exactly how the algorithms work for Google, but I do know that in my county, within at least an hour to an hour and a half of where I live, I have the highest reviews of any taxidermist in that range. And I have like 40 something, all 5-star reviews. So if you're within an hour to an hour and a half of me and you Google taxidermist near me, skull mount near me, anything like that, my name is the first one that comes up, and it's because I have those reviews. So it makes a big difference. And I get a ton of business through Google. I get every year, my phone on Monday after the weekend, my phone rings all day long from Google people calling me. Now I have the word taxidermist in my name, so I have to field some calls because I get people wanting shoulder mounts done. I don't do that. But it is worth it and it's free. I upload pictures on there. I encourage people to leave me reviews once they've been a customer of mine, and it has really worked for me. The same exact thing applies with Facebook. Do the same thing. Go on Facebook, create a free business page, get reviews on it, get your friends to like it, get your friends to share it, put good pictures on there, and the same thing will happen. I do also get a lot of people that go to Google. Like if you Google my taxidermist near me in my area, my Google page comes up first, and then there's a couple other taxidermists below that, and if you scroll down, the first thing that's not Google related is my Facebook page that comes up. So they get to see it 2 times with just a little swipe, and they'll go to one or the other and they'll contact me through it or through my number on it. So be active on social media. My Google page, my Facebook page, especially during deer season, I post pictures. Try to post pictures daily, just to keep. I think that helps with the algorithm as well, and it just helps keep people's, keep me on people's mind. Okay, kind of off of that. Number 4, take good pictures. I cannot stress this enough. I don't know how many times I've seen guys that will spend weeks, months working on a skull mount and then spend 30 seconds taking a picture of it. And that 30 seconds represents all that work that you put into it before. You need to get a good representation of what your work looks like, because that's what's going to bring people to you. When they go to that Google page, that Facebook page, they're going to be looking at those pictures. So take the time, get a good backdrop. This barnwood behind me right here, I put in my shop recently. I really like a head up against that. It pops out real good. Find a good back color that works. Get good lighting. If it's outside, wait till the right time of day. Download apps on your phone for filters where you can filter it. Sometimes if you got too much light, it washes the skull out and it just looks like a white blur and you can't see any of the detail in it. If you don't have enough light, it can make it look yellow. Sometimes a little bit you can compensate for some of that with a filter if your phone comes with it. If not, you can download an app, and that will, people will look at those pictures. You can go on my Google page on the analytics for it, and it shows, I mean, people, during deer season, I'll upload a picture to Google and it gets viewed thousands of times within a week by people just looking at it. So, and another very important thing that I don't think people think about is when a skull is ready, I have a pre-made text on my phone, and I will text the customer. It says your skull is ready to be picked up, the price, we prefer cash, Venmo, PayPal, it has a little spiel, and then I will take at least 1 or 2 good pictures and I will send those pictures to the customer, and they always reply back and say how great it looks. Within a few minutes, hours of them receiving those pictures, they will save those pictures to their phone and they will send them to their buddies. And you don't want, sometimes a lot of the guys that hunt are in group text on their deer lease, on their hunting area, on their hunting group, whatever, and those guys get that picture and that's going to represent to them what your work looks like, and they're going to remember that. So if you're sending them a cruddy picture, it's just not that hard to take a good picture. So take the time and take a good picture after you're done on every head. And once you get a good backdrop and good, figure out the lighting, it doesn't take that much time. You can. I'll sit out here at night and have 10 or 15 heads I need finished up, and I'll just within an hour I'll just go through, take pictures of all of them, and then text them out. All right. Number 5. This is another one that that I don't know why people do it sometimes, but use good quality plaques. If your customers want plaques, use good plaques. I can't tell, same thing with the pictures. I can't tell you how many times I see guys spend all this time on getting the mount ready and finishing it, and then they put it on a crappy looking plaque. Their buddy, isn't a carpenter, but he has the few of the tools and makes some kind of plaque. The plaque, for me, is just as important as the head to look good. I order all my plaques from one place. They are quality. They're expensive. They're solid wood. They're not fake fiberboard. They're not cedar or not the cheap pine or anything like that. They're quality hardwood plaques, and my customers pay for them. They're a lot more expensive than what you could get from your buddy making one or making them yourself. But I feel that really, since I've started selling those plaques and carrying those plaques, I've sold so many more of them versus when I was carrying crappy ones, or even when I try to. A lot of guys do this. A lot of guys also make their own plaques, and they're not carpenters, but they get the tools and they can make one and it's decent, and but it's just not the best. And I did the same thing. I had in my shop, I had a little lathe set up and jigsaw and all that stuff, and I'd make my own, but the quality of them just was not as good as a professionally made one. So I can't stress that enough. Buy good plaques, carry good plaques, keep them in your shop. If you can afford to buy extra ones, put them in your shop, display them, and you'll be surprised how many more plaques you sell, and that's just more money in your pocket. Alright guys, so that's my 5 things that you should consider if you're new to doing skull mounts as a business, or if you're wanting to start a skull mount business. I hope those help you. Again, these are more basic things. I've got another list on my phone, another video I'm going to do of some more advanced things. And so if you guys want to see that video, please comment below, let me know. If you have any tips or tricks for people that are starting out, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and I'm sure there's other people out there that love to hear them as well. Like I said before, guys, if y'all like this video, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. It just helps my video get seen. And let me know if you like this, if you want to see more. I'll keep making them. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them as well. But thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all again.